here right off the bat, you can see we got this dang barnyard grass growing here. Kind of a pain. It grows so fast and it just takes over. Well, it's been a while since I put a video out. We've just been super busy with harvest and trying to put up the rest of the pivots, and also setting up those cleaners we got last fall. So it's been hard to film stuff and edit videos, especially in the summer. You know, I don't really want to spend time inside editing videos. I could be outside doing other things. Kind of slowed down a little bit here, and I've just got the disc on, you could see, and I'm headed out to one of the fields. I disced about 80 acres yesterday and today, and gonna finish up here in a little bit. So then I think after we get done disking this field, I'll go around and kind of show you the crops, where they're at, how they're doing, because we've got some good things going and we had some bad things happen. So we'll get to that later after we're done with this field right here. Alright, perfect. Now that we got this last field done, let's make sure that don't scrape on the road. That wouldn't be good. Okay, let's take this disc back down to the shop, park it, and then we'll go hop in the truck and drive around and look at the crops. Okay, let's get the AC going. My gosh, what is it? So hot. All right, let's go. We'll just we'll go out here, have a look at the corn first, since we're already, well, right by the cornfield. We'll go drive up top here, have a look at it. Thing about this cornfield, looks good right now. The bad thing was our first planting of corn was basically a total failure. It was like 95% of the crop was taken out from wireworms, so we had to replant. And so we put in, this is a 77-day short season corn. I hope we have enough season. If we get an early frost, we might be in trouble, but if we don't, which I don't think we will get an early frost this year, this should have enough time to cure and mature all the way. There's some spots that's over the hill that's kind of a little bit patchy, and I think that's from wireworms, but the emergence on it, I would say, is at least 70, probably more like 80, which is a lot better than, you know, 5-10% as the first planting was. So that's the good and the bad on this field right here. And so next, this pivot is kind of leaking right here up top. I don't know why. We put in a new gasket up there and it still kind of just sprays out. We'll have to look at that later. So right here where we are now, this is actually where all the pivots were sitting a couple months ago. And this was like that dried up pasture, you know. In here we got buckwheat planted and it's actually looking super nice. It's actually starting to flower. You can see some of them starting to flower here. But yeah, this field looks incredible. I'm really happy with it. So, and it's also super nice to not have to change hand lines. We just come flip a switch on the pivot and we got water on this field now. So I'm really happy with this buckwheat here. That's 2 of the fields. We'll go have a look at a few more. Oakley, come on, load up. Let's go. Load up. Oh my gosh, that buckwheat looks so nice. They were just right over there. So here's another pivot. Oh, actually, while we're driving by, so this field, I'm just going to stay in the truck. This is also buckwheat that we put in. It's super short right now. This was the last pivot that we put in, so that's why that buckwheat is planted so late. We're not thinking it's gonna make it to seed, so it's more of just a cover crop on that piece of dirt right now, and maybe this fall put in a grain or something, or winter pea, not sure yet. So you can see it does get a little thin right here. Not really happy with that part, and we got a problem with some barnyard grass here, so it doesn't look really that good on this side, but there is corn, so at least we got that going, right? Okay, now let's drive out here to this this was a short season milo right here. First of all, this outer part of the field right here wraps around where the pivot doesn't reach. This is going to be going into pasture this fall, so it won't have just this dirt sitting here doing nothing. Some of this milo is actually starting to head out like that. See this? And then we got others that are, you know, just coming out. So this is looking pretty good, but up on the hill here we do have a problem with the barnyard grass. So other than that, I think this field is doing pretty good, and should be a decent crop. Okay, so here is, I don't really want to get out, there's sprinklers right here. This was peas and then wheat in the far back 25 acres, and then the barley was over here in the 36 right there. Kind of see a strip of it. I worked all this yesterday and today actually. Then we laid out hand lines here. Got 4 of them going in this 50 acres right here. What we're gonna do is water up any volunteer wheat or peas and any weeds, get them started, and then we'll take them out and we'll put in barley in this 50 acres right here, and then once we're done watering this field, we'll put the pipes on that 36 acres over there, and that's probably going to Austrian winter peas. Alright, now we'll head up the road to the last 2 fields, have a look at them, show you what's going on with them. So here, right off the bat, you can see we got this dang barnyard grass growing here. Kind of a pain. It grows so fast and it just takes over. we'll just stop right here. This is the late season milo that we planted right here. This part is not under pivot, and so some of it has started to head out, and you know, looking okay. We got some weeds in here. Not my favorite, but it's just kind of what it is right now. Let's go up top here. This pivot was also bad. This was originally a short season milo that we put in, and we had too much weed pressure that we thought, you know, better off taking it out and putting something else in. So that's what we did here. Right here we do have that short season corn that we put in, hoping there's a long enough season for it. So that's that. And then the other half of the pivot, we have buckwheat over here. So you can see this one is also starting to flower. This is looking pretty good. There's a lot less weed pressure now. I think that we got, you know, another weed flush by taking out the milo. You know, go figure, whatever, but at least we got a crop of good looking buckwheat up here too. So that's nice. A lot better than hand lines. Oh my gosh. I could literally just sit out here and stare at this thing all day. And then the last field is that field of milo on that pivot right there. It's looking good. I don't really want to drive out there because it's not really a road, so I don't really want to walk out there either, but it's looking good. So that's kind of where we're at with all of our crops. Some bad, but mostly good. Yeah, look at that buckwheat. That looks pretty good. I like that. Anyways, that's that.